should flip a coin. They got the trophy waiting for me where I'm going. Put that banner up. The skills here are so intact. I travel to the future when I step back. Hang time like the dock and you might be stacked. But to stop what we got, man, you might need Shaq. They think our confidence is arrogance, but that's just fact. Destiny yelling how we look if we don't scream back. We are cream of the crop, the top tier. That's why they beating on the drums, cause the champs in here. Yeah. Oh, just look at that beat. Yeah. Come on. We were never getting on our level. We go here, we would never settle. Trophies raised high here, we call it heavy metal. Giving no breaks, beat on the pedal, top three. Up for any challenge you bring. See the results of the last group that challenged the team. Efficiency is high when you challenge the ring. Matter of fact, hold his L and clean. You deserve it. We don't just dominate, we serve it. No guesswork here, we certain. You see the wins and start flirting. We put a ring on it, where's the curtains? Ready. You got me saying I'm hungry. Just look at that beat. Yeah. You were never getting on our level. We go here, we would never settle. Trophies raised high here, we call it heavy metal. Giving no breaks, feet on the pedal, top three.
Say, white women been betraying us since before Susan B. Anthony. Before you hop in the comments, hit dogs on holla. Alright now. White women been betraying us since the second wave feminist movement, when black women wanted to talk about forced sterilizations in this country and their white counterparts, their comrades, decided to silence them at the national conference. I've never trusted or expected the very same white women who are the culture keepers of white supremacy. I have never trusted the very same white women that raise their sons to be the purveyors and the leaders of white supremacist domination. I cannot trust the white women that literally commodify black culture and then criminalize black women and black boys for participating in and being the creators of that culture. I cannot expect the same white women who raise their daughters to uphold some of the most brutal and violent parts of white supremacist domination to actually have my back at any damn time. Blue bracelets ain't gonna do it. Blue bracelets ain't gonna do it. But you know what he's gonna do it? Being an actual co-conspirator and actually being anti-racist. Deconstructing the system of white supremacist domination within your household, actually having uncomfortable conversations, reading about the history of white women and their role in slavery. Now, some white women are going to comment on this video and apologize for their role in white supremacy, apologize for the system of white supremacist domination. I don't want your apologies. I want your co-conspiratorship in black liberation. I want you to use your privilege to open doors for black people. I want you to use your voices and your bodies to advocate for the safety of black people as we move into this moment of white supremacist fascism. And I want you to go read They Were Her Property. Okay? Go to your local bookstore. Don't go to fucking Amazon. Go to your local fucking bookstore. Try to see if Haymarket Books has it. And pick up They Were Her Property. Don't DM me about it. I don't care. But learn something. And if you learn something from this video, the Venmo's in the bio. All right now.
Wow. Before I get to what Afeni said, I'm sorry for the horrible camera quality, guys. I need to find a better camera because this right here just don't look good. I bet a bunch of unserious people said, damn, you can't afford a camera? Well, I can, but I'll get that straightened out. yeah, not to call this guy out. Smurf, Smurf, he's been there for me when nobody else has. You know, I appreciate him, but my guy, like, I get what you're saying about race. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're going to watch this. I know what you're saying about race, my guy, but you know, I want to get to a point where I don't want to think about race. I want to see us as all one people. We're not there yet, man. Like like Afeni said, man, like, white folks, the ones that fuck with us, they need to educate their people. It's not my job to tell white folks, hey, past history of you guys, particularly white women, that's not my job. The job is of our white comrades, man. You too, Smurf. I'm not calling you out. I love you, Smurf. You my guy, but yeah, man. Only thing we really disagree with is the race thing. So I just had to put that in there. I've been thinking about it. I get what you're saying again. Like, you don't want every time race is brought up. I get it, cause see you, Smurf, in particular, you're a loving guy. That's what it is. When you have love in your heart, you don't want to think about race. I don't want to think about race. Like, I see us as one. Like for example, like I told somebody else, I don't care who I marry. As long as I love them, I don't care about the color of their skin. That don't matter. So yeah, shout out to Afeni, man. Follow her. Facts and Fire. She's is fire. She's on all platforms. You know, Afeni, she's a revolutionary. She's definitely a revolutionary. Okay, I had to get that out the way. Race is a hot, heated topic these days. Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre Morton, and the Good Faith Show is exclusively on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network. We on YouTube, and also on YouTube we got two channels. We got the main one. The name of that is called the ATP Network, and the backup one, because YouTube been really fucking with us for some reason, is Andre Entire Peasant Network. So I know, so it won't sound confusing. Subscribe to both channels, y'all. That's highly recommended, because YouTube, these motherfuckers are some conniving people, man. Like, holy hell. Like, some of you might probably didn't know. I said this before, probably I think a few days ago. YouTube almost gave us a second copyright strike, because apparently they must have got confused that Ben Shapiro, when he was debating Kamala supporters, I guess they thought it was third-party content. And and the crazy thing is, they send you email saying, even though you didn't intentionally, use the content, you got to follow by the rules. And I'm like, and also too, I didn't mention this. I checked to see was that content, because usually these bourgeois PMC motherfucking YouTubers, they definitely had a shit content ID. I checked it, and it wasn't claimed, so I could use it. So anyway, long story short, YouTube rescinded the copyright strike, and I'm here entertaining you guys now. So yeah, follow both channels, ATP Network and Andre and Ty Peasant Network, please. And also we on Twitch. We growing slowly on there. Twitch is mainly a gaming channel. It is what it is. We gained the most views we had was 21 views, which is amazing. You can't expect big results when you're just starting. So, and we on Rumble too. Rumble, Rumble, we building slowly. We got 34 followers on Rumble, but we get a good bit of views, 70, 60 views on live stream. So follow us on Rumble too if you on Rumble like that. And also too, I got some shameless plugs. Support my best friend, man. Like, this woman is amazing. I wouldn't recommend a better friend than her, Ty Peasant, and she's the CEO of the ATP Network. On the bottom of your ticker right there, her cash app is $Liz4285. And also to subscribe to my podcast, Real Recognize Real, available on all major podcasting platforms. So yeah, guys. And also too, I had to put this in here. We the truth tellers, baby. Oh man, it can't be no better duo than me and Ty Pheasant. Like tea time. Oh, I hate people. Somebody on a damn dirt bike. Anyway, we truth tellers, baby. It can't be no better duo than me and her. So yeah, man, we the truth tellers. We tell you the truth. I wasn't gonna talk electoralism, but after hearing what Ty Pheasant said on the text, yeah, we have to continue to spread. I gotta talk about Trump, man. That guy, my God, man. Like, that's why on election night, I think I had a lot of White Claws and I smoked a blunt too before I got on live stream. Like, either way, even with Kamala Harris too. Now, I'm not litigating her impact. Like, Kamala Harris is not shit either, but Trump, man, like, oh my God, and his lackeys. Oh my God, I need to do a video on his cabinet and just go through all the motherfuckers like RFK. Oh my God, Matt Gates. Oh my God. I just don't know, man. Like, what can I really say? But I'm gonna have to super prep for that video. But I'm not gonna talk about Trump. Well, yeah, I'm gonna talk about Trump. David Packman, his liberal loving ass, Democrat loving ass. He made a video, clowning on Trump supporters. Yeah, and then I'm gonna talk about the surveillance state. Like, we need to talk about that too, guys. Like, I know the feds watching my ass right now, man. Like, Ty Peasant, she talked about this in the past too. Like, like they look at us as terrorists. Like, anybody that is a pro-Palestinian protester, and hell, I'll say even back in 2020 during the George Floyd protests, I'm pretty sure they thought some of those folks were terrorists because they want police to stop killing black people. Like, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, you're a communist, Marxist. You speak truth to power. You anti-establishment. They hate your guts. So yeah, I'm about to get into that, and anything else I'll probably pull up to later on. So, all right, guys, grab some popcorn on this Saturday evening and enjoy. All right, guys. Now, yeah, so talking about David Packman again. Oh God. And to be honest with you, here's an interesting fact about this. I never watched this motherfucker until when he said he was losing over 10,000 subs. Like, like I just never thought the dude was that good of a commentator. I mean, that's just me. Shoot. Yeah, he says Trump voters are about to get what they deserve. So, yeah. It's a lot for me to say right there. I think, it's when your team don't win, like David Packman, the liberals, they didn't win. The Democrats, they didn't win. He's butthurt, he's salty, he lost membership, subscribers, Hell, the way David Packman talk, hell, you'll think this motherfucker, he about to go fucking bankrupt. Like, holy shit. The motherfucker still got over 2 million subscribers. Like, yeah, that just shows me that people like David Packman and the rest of these bread tubers are just in it for the money. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Like, they're in it for the money. It's just that simple. But anyway, I'm going to play and see what talking points David Packman has. Here we go.
Friends, those who are still here, and that's most of you, of course. It has been a very, very long week. It didn't go our way. I joked about my voice being gone yesterday or the day before. It's actually struggling right now, but we have what I think is maybe the most important show in months today, and it's not hyperbole, but when things don't go your way, You have to contextualize. You have to seek to understand. We have to figure out what happened and what to do next. And I want to start with a really good editorial by Tom Nichols that points out that Trump voters are now going to get what they deserve in the sense of what they voted for. It's not about the left will now.
You know, oh shit, my bad, guys. There we go. You know, it's easy. Well, David Packman, I will say this: like, nobody just didn't turn off for the Democrats, bro. They didn't turn off for the Democrats, man. Like, people was not swarming to vote for Trump. Like, see, you guys are getting it wrong. Like, people that were going to vote for Trump was going to vote for Trump. I mean, like if you look at the poll, the final, the national vote, Trump got the same amount of votes he had back in 2020. Like, just, I guess the independent vote either voted for, well, the people that flip flop, either they voted for Jill Stein, or folks just sit on the fucking couch this election season. In which, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna say this: like, you could tell, like, usually people say that it's election season, and if you have a political based YouTube channel, you explode. Well, we got to over 1,000 subscribers, but we didn't really explode like that. Like, at least, we could have hit 2K, but it's not about the subscribers. But I'm just saying, like, people just wasn't in it. And by you saying Trump's supposed to get what it deserves, well, blame the Democrats for having a shitty campaign. Oh God.
Punish Trump voters. Hey, the left has very little electoral power right now. It looks like we're losing everything. But there is
Democrats are not the left. Stop saying Democrats are the fucking left. They're not the left. Oh, that's so painful to watch this. But I said I'm gonna watch it. I didn't really prep for any like serious topics, but oh God, this guy here, man. No wonder. This is why bread tubers are losing. That's why they're losing right now. Like, channels like ours and RBNs and do this and this and Harlan Medias are winning. Like, we'll fucking vindicate it. But let me get to the video. I need to learn to stop pausing this so much. I think that people don't like that, so I'm trying to play it a little while and pause it. Yeah.
There's no doubt here that although Donald Trump expanded his coalition on Tuesday, he got more of the Latino vote. He got more of the Black vote. He won the popular vote, first Republican in decades to win the popular vote. He took back the blue wall, or at least part of it, in the north of the country. But now, at their peril, these new voters are going to face the consequences of a Trump presidency. Even if you voted for him, you are still going to get what Trump is going to give you. And there are many voters that supported Trump, not for his policies, but for his reality show of rage and resentment fueled by nativist instinct and fascist wet dreams.
You gotta ask yourself though, David, like, well, yeah, he got 52% of Latino men, and yeah, he got more of the black male vote, but gotta ask yourself why. One reason why is because, especially for Black folks, is I don't agree with this. I got to say that I do not agree with this reasoning why Black folks decide to vote for Trump. They feel that the Democrats are letting the immigrants get all this quote unquote free stuff, and I don't know, Latinos, I got an idea why. I guess, it can't be that, the same reason of Black folks, but really Latino men are more conservative anyway. Like, if you look at Florida, for example, like, that's probably the reason why Trump win Florida. Like there's a lot of Latinos in Florida. So yeah, like Kamala Harris didn't do a good job with black men. She failed with that. And what policy she had for Latino men. So yeah. David.
And cultural grievances. And in the op-ed that we're linking to, Tom Nichols compares this support by some of these groups to sort of an illiberal populism, where voters who are hostile to democracy participate in democratic institutions, right? Some of them would have been fine with Trump stealing the 2020 election. They don't really care about democracy, but they're participating in it this time. They are voting to punish others, even if they themselves are also going to be punished. So we now have a situation where millionaires and billionaires ended up somehow aligned with a sliver of the working class Trump vote, despite Trump's policies likely harming younger minority voters, working family voters. Trump's policies towards those groups aren't going to change just because some of them voted for Trump. If Trump's policies don't do much for the average Texas Latino voter, if they voted for Trump, they're still going to suffer as a result of Trump's policies. And as I've said before,
Trump did say he's going to not only deport illegal immigrants, he says he's going to deport legal immigrants too. So yeah, if you voted for Trump and you're not officially a U.S. citizen yet, you got a visa, but you're not official. Yeah, it is not smart. But again, like I said, you gotta ask, why these people didn't vote for Kamala then. Oh, see, that asking that question. See, you're saying, basically what you're saying is, a lot of these people are just, the ones that voted for Trump, the ones that don't care about democracy, they don't care if Trump told the 2020, but again, like the minorities that the Democrats need to win, why they voted for Trump. And he said it will harm, the Trump, the minority voting for Trump will harm them. Well, could say the same thing about if Kamala Harris won. Like, will their lives improve? No, it wouldn't improve either. So basically, like me and Ty Pence have been saying, like either way, you fucked. You fucked. Oh my God.
from what I'm seeing, Trump's going to give me a tax cut. The type of business I have is likely going to get either a new tax cut or an extension of the previous QBID tax cut under Trump. It's not good for the economy. It's not morally justified. It's not economically stimulative to do that, but he's going to do it. And I didn't vote for the guy, but I'm still going to get, or my business is still going to get that tax cut. And the opposite is true for those that did vote for Trump. Trump's priority here.
Yeah, when you wealthy and well off, David Packman, of course, a tax cut beneficial to you. Like you have a business, Oh my God, this guy has a business. Obviously, he got a media company, right? Like Crystal and Saga do, right? I guess Cal Kalinske, TYT, yeah, those people. See the PMCs, like they will benefit from Trump's tax cuts, wow, because they not the top 1%, but they millionaires. Like we all know David Peck was a millionaire. So he dressed like he's a working class guy. Like that's by intent. Like this guy has no, he has no, how you say it? Not solidarity. I forgot the fucking word. Holy shit. He has no recollection with me. I'm a working class guy. Tyler Pence is a working class parent. Like, and we minority. David Packman's white is a white man. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when you are wealthy, tax cuts will benefit you. Oh, you vote for the guy. Oh God, yeah, duh.
Was avoid legal accountability for his crimes, which seems like he's going to succeed at, dismantle checks on his power, including the rule of law. It seems he's going to succeed at that. I told you recently that at least the federal prosecutions of Trump are just going to poof, evaporate like a miracle. They're going to disappear. And now Trump and his voters are going to have to bear the consequences of his governance, which is not going to spare supporters from harm. One thing we learned in this election is Democrats can't win over these voters with policy arguments. It didn't work. We've got to acknowledge that. Any serious postmortem has to.
Wait a minute. What policies? Democrats didn't have no policies. Did Kamala Harris have any reputable policies? Like, did she advocate for a minimum wage increase? Did she advocate for all student loan debt to be forgiven? You know, say what you can say about Biden, but at least he said something. Like, just tax cuts. I mean, not tax cut, child tax credit, and what, the home credit. Like people. So turns out that the home credit is a fucking tax credit too. What if you, like, a lot of people can't afford a home? A lot of people is window shopping for a home. They're going to Zillow. I mean, not Zillow, whatever the fuck it calls, some home site, and scrolling through, dreaming of what home they could get. Like, and then a $6,000 child tax credit. Like, I don't have a child. Like, again, like, how that's going to benefit me? Yeah, it'll benefit my friends that have kids. Good, hell yeah. But what about the single working class black guy? You see what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm talking about. So, and Democrats have no policies. I don't know what the hell this guy talking about. Like, Trump didn't have no policies either. What, tip workers? What, no tax on tip workers? Which I figured out that a lot of corporations can say their income is tipped to keep from paying taxes. That's really what that's about. But okay.
Concede that that's the case. So now we will see, does suffering at the hand of Trump impact these voters? They voted for him, some of them. If Trump's second term is anything like the first term, many of those voters are now going to suffer. Will that get them to see the light? Now, as far as Trump goes, it doesn't matter because he can't run again. But as far as what they will support in 26 and 28, it's very relevant. So we keep talking about, what do Democrats do? What does the left do? So much that we've tried just hasn't worked. In this particular case, with Republicans taking the White House, taking the Senate, we don't yet know about the House, but it's not looking particularly good.
It took the House, by the way.
For Democrats. Democrats have to take a step back and let events unfold. The breathless blame games, most of which make no sense. The problem was it was the wrong VP candidate. The problem was Liz Cheney campaigned with Kamala for a day. The problem.
Oh God. Yeah. You campaigning with a war hawk. Yeah, that makes you look good. Yeah, that was a problem. And the Tim Walsh thing, a lot of people said that she should have picked Shapiro because, it could have helped Pennsylvania. Well, I don't think she could pick George fucking Clooney for all I care. I don't think it would have made a difference. So
problem was people in Michigan angry about Gaza. We need to step back. We've further cautioning is going to increase their fixation. It's time to allow some space for the people who said, I think I want Trump over Harris. They maybe need to experience the consequences now firsthand, and then we will evaluate what effect that has on their voting patterns. Many in the audience know my first language is Spanish. I learned English.
So yeah, yeah, Trump would not help those people. We all know that. Kamala wouldn't either. And what people usually do when one party, unfortunately, because our system is just totally fucked. Like, oh man, you know, Americans have an attention span of a fly. Like, what? And they have a "what have you done for me lately" type of mentality. Like, Trump doesn't do shit. Then whoever the fuck else the dummies pull out in 2028, who knows? Or, you know, like in 2026, okay, forget about that midterm, right? Maybe the dummies get back control of the House, or, you know, maybe the Senate be split. Just the same old shit. See what the hell? Oh, I think that's it. Okay. That's the video right there, because I think he advertising something. Oh, God. So yeah, man, David Packman, like, what he said didn't make any sense. Like, he failed to realize that Kamala was basically an empty suit. She didn't have no policies at all. The policies were very benign, if I'm using kind of technical words. They were very benign. She did not have a black agenda. She apparently didn't have no Latino agenda. It's just, you know, like, when would these bread tube shit libs realize that Kamala did this to herself? Her lack of fucking answering questions, like, nobody talks about that. She's a word salad. And then on top of that too, she just empty suit. just an empty suit. Yeah. Either way, no matter if you're a Trump supporter, supported Kamala, or you're a communist like me, we all are fucked. We all are fucked. Okay, guys. Another shameless plug. Support my best friend and CEO of the ATP network, Ty Peasant. Her cash app is $Liz4285. It's on the bottom of your ticker. You know, slide her a few dollars if you can. If you can't, that's understandable, man. Like, I'm not demanding directly for you to donate to. I'm just asking, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with asking. And also to subscribe to my podcast, y'all. I need to get my podcast numbers up. Real recognize real. You'll see my big old ugly head on there on the cover of it. Available on all major platforms. So, all right, guys, to the next video. Now, the second story is about Americans are being watched, and it's getting worse by Second Thought. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Gotta ask a respect to his channel, so go watch it yourself. It's one of his newest slate of videos. He does an amazing job. Like, man, getting behind this camera and microphone and commentating is hard, but the work that Case Study QB does, finding clips for from mainstream media just to help us, talk about our story, or Pro a Perfect Union, going out in the streets, talking to people, talking to union reps and all that stuff, or Second Thought, like pulling up articles, breaking down like what the fuck our government is doing that they're not really telling us about. Like, it's hard work. It really is some hard work. Yeah. They're watching us, man. Like, they watching me right now behind this camera, and it'll be a matter of time before some motherfucking pig come knocking at my door saying, "Hey, we gonna have to seize your computer," or some shit like that. Oh man, I just have that feeling, like, especially Trump here, man. Like, you never know. Like, you never know. So yeah, I'm finna play this video and break it down. The usual, but I won't play the whole thing though, obviously. So here we go.
Okay, so there's a building in Tribeca that we think is an NSA base of operations. Let's see how many cameras we can get caught on the way there. Now, there are about 15,000 cameras in New York, and by best estimates, you'll pass about 100 publicly accessible ones just to get to Lower Manhattan. Here's a map. And you know what? Here's 2 random blocks in Bushwick. Again, 15,000 cameras. 15,000 cameras that, by some estimates, can identify you from over 2 blocks away. They're pretty much everywhere, and if cops have access to them, you can bet they'll be combined with automated facial recognition software. Just between 2017 and 2021, the NYPD used facial recognition tech in 22,000 cases, including to track down BLM protesters back in 2020.
See what I'm talking about? Told y'all to track BLM protesters back in 2020. I'm not surprised. Pretty sure now, 2024, 2023, when the pro-Palestine protests were happening, I'm pretty sure they use facial recognition software, and facial recognition software is not perfect. Like, the problem with that is, like, it could be, two people could kind of look identical, like identical twins, like, obviously, or 2 people they're not twins, but they kind of favor. Like, I favor a few people, like. One of those cameras catch me, they think I'm doing something, but it's not me, it's somebody else that look like me. Like that. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just like this shit is some scary ass shit. This is New York City. I'm pretty sure Atlanta like this, LA like this, Chicago, Seattle, Miami, like these big cities, and it's coming to it's coming to smaller cities too, like Monroe and Shreveport. I'm pretty sure like they're gonna have facial recognition software. Like they have traffic cameras every goddamn well. Like don't run no goddamn red light like I did. Apparently they claim I did, and I was in fucking Tennessee. I went to Tennessee for something, and the red light camera apparently said I ran the red light, which I clearly didn't. The light was yellow. You could run through a yellow light. You can't run through a red light, obviously. But they gave me $130 ticket. So, yeah, like, the camera didn't do a good job. He didn't do a good job. So, yeah, this is not good, man.
2020. That's because this software, according to The Intercept, can automatically tag activities like loitering, no chance that's ever problematic, and automatically index things like people's race and gender. Nothing to worry about there either. But cameras...
About that, though, like, what if somebody don't identify as a gender? Why would they recognize as they, them? Like... So basically, it can misgender you too. Like, oh my god, yeah, this is such good technology. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure how many like they'll catch Papa Slim loitering, smoking a joint while the real fucking criminals is fucking, these corporations stealing from us every fucking day. Yeah, they don't catch them. No, they get away scot-free. They in their yachts, while they catch a young blood with a dime bag of weed. What a backward society we live in. Let me continue.
Are just one part of the arsenal of surveillance tools that cops have at their disposal. Since they've become much more common, cops have repurposed body cams for everyday surveillance, sent out drones to film protests, used special automated license plate readers all over the city, set up fake cell towers to collect phone call data, and a lot more to keep track.
Guys, I know I say I'm quit interrupting every fucking 8 seconds, but I just can't help it. I just got a lot of questions like, why you need drones at a peaceful protest? Why you need cops and fucking body armor with shields and helmets at a peaceful protest? It's peaceful for a reason, like people chanting free Palestine and from the river to the sea. But you need drones and fucking shit. But I know why they do that. They want to, protests always most of them be peaceful until guess who shows up? The pigs. When the pigs show up, then it becomes rowdy, of course, because pigs are also rowdy fuckers. But let me
track of where people are, who they're talking to, and
I forgot to, y'all. So tips: when you go into a protest, wear a mask, cover your face, a bandana or something like that. And don't take your main cell phone, people. Please don't do that. Use a dummy phone. Like I got like a little cheap prepaid phone, bring a little dummy phone just in case you need to contact somebody. Leave your main phone at home because yes, they can ping your phones. Like, you think Apple and Samsung care about your privacy? No. No, they don't give a fuck about your privacy. Like, they collect all your fucking data and get it to who? These motherfuckers. And also to have a change of clothes too when you done protesting. Like, change your clothes, that way you'll look different. All those cameras, assuming if they looking for you, then it'll be hard to identify you. So yeah, man, like, please, people, if you protesting, please be safe out there, man. Like, yep, they can ping your phones. I know folks want to record and all that stuff. You can record, but bring like a camera or something, like a real photography camera. Don't use your phone because they can ping your phone. That's what I'm saying. Okay, back to the video.
what they do at all times. And they're not the only ones. Regular apps on your phone have found crazy ways to track you too. A few years ago, a French app for finding hotels and restaurants was found by the Yale Privacy Lab to track its users' location. Not with the GPS on your phone, mind you, but by having speakers in public locations make a sound that humans can't hear, but our phones can pick up. And that pales in comparison with the mountains of data companies like Google, Facebook, and Amazon have on us. Google stores your search history indefinitely, even in incognito. But even when you're not using the search function, Google tracking infrastructure is on 92 of the top 100 websites and 923 of the top 1,000. With how much Google owns or can access through the websites it has a backdoor for, the company has data on everything from your location to your address, email, and name, all the links you click on, how long you spend on any one page, what you buy, and who you talk to. And since the Snowden leaks, we know that all that info can get fed upstream to surveillance agencies like the FBI and NSA. Through programs like Prism, Boundless Informant, and XKeyscore, the NSA taps Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and Apple servers to search through emails, online messages, and browsing history. And if that's not enough, these same programs allow the NSA to use AT&T and Verizon's records to collect the time, location, and people involved in a phone call for millions of Americans without any need for prior authorization. Just to give you
Thank you, government, for that. Yeah. Remember the Patriot Act? Yeah, that's what that act entails of. Like, yeah, we can just randomly screen your calls. Like, and people said this is a democracy. The freedom. I like how these right-wing hacks on Twitter and Facebook and other platforms, when you say this country is no democracy, ain't no freedom, they say, move to Venezuela. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you probably get more fucking freedom in Venezuela than you do here when you got fucking NSA right now probably hearing my fucking podcast. Like, and also too, he didn't mention this, like, your camera system too, like, they can see what you're doing. So if you jacking off on camera in front of your phone, most likely the NSA could see that too. So that's a bad, that's a weird example, but it's true, man. It's crazy. Like, yeah. And I like those ads Apple had about privacy. Your privacy is important. No, it's not. It ain't important because you guys allow this to happen. I guess y'all have to comply, right? But yeah. No democracy in America.
An idea, according to the Brennan Center, the FBI conducted 3.4 million warrantless searches on Americans' phone calls, emails, and text messages in 2021 using a law that, on paper, can only be used to spy on foreigners overseas, which is already problematic. This is a lot, and there's way more, but we'll get to that in a minute. Because first I want to know how we got here. The amount of surveillance we can be subjected to at a moment's notice is truly dystopian. Most of us would rather not think about the public-private partnership between the police, federal agencies, and tech companies built on collecting millions of hard drives worth of personal data. How did this happen? Our story starts here in Silicon Valley. Here on Sand Hill Road is where, in 1999, the CIA backed the private nonprofit venture capital firm In-Q-Tel. Initially, In-Q-Tel was a pretty unimportant little office meant to keep an eye on Silicon Valley, fund a few things here and there, and see if tech companies were coming up with anything useful for the intelligence community. An experiment meant to last 5 years, nothing more. Just down the road, about a 20-minute drive away and less than a year before, Google launched their own little company out of a garage, a search engine meant to compete with the likes of Yahoo and AltaVista. And for a while, neither of these companies mattered very much. Google was a fledgling company, just one search engine of many, and In-Q-Tel was proving to be somewhat of a failed CIA experiment, a 5-year project that hadn't really done much of anything. Neither was this a great time for advocates of more surveillance. The scale of the internet was steadily growing in the late 90s, and Americans started feeling that this might threaten their privacy. So after years of letting internet companies self-regulate, in 2000 the government started moving. Robert Pitofsky, the FTC chairman, was in the New York Times boldly coming after .com companies and saying e-commerce threatened to intrude on people's personal lives. And legislation was drafted to protect what people did on the internet. It required companies to limit what personal details they could collect, as well as make it clear what they were collecting, how it was used, and give people the option to correct it or delete it entirely. So basically, everything Google, Amazon, and Facebook do now would have either become illegal or subjected to a lot of public scrutiny, with the law on the side of internet users.
So basically, they were being pro-consumer at the time. Wow, that's a good idea. Like, don't keep my data and use it, sell it to other people. Like, yeah, that was a good thing at the time. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, I upload Pornhub. I don't want Google and Amazon and Facebook to collect that fucking shit. Oh, goodness gracious. Then I know, then from there it goes downhill. I know.
To give you an idea, in the fall of 2000, the Clinton administration wanted to raise the legal requirement before law enforcement could access emails, and was actually criticized by Republicans for not doing enough to protect privacy. And then everything changed after 9/11. Okay, let's go backwards from where we just ended. First, the legislation. 45 days after 9/11, Congress passed the Patriot Act. Pretty much overnight, all those concerns about privacy went out the window. A state of emergency was declared, and terrorism became the mainstream diet of American media consumption. This neatly paved the way for the Patriot Act and the barrage of policies that followed.
And also, too, you gotta understand too that worked at the time as well, because people believed that you know, Bin Laden attacked us before we found out that it was an inside job. I'm not gonna get into all that, but yeah, so people were worried about terrorism. Put that in parentheses on our U.S. soil, which was done by us. And while these motherfuckers just signed a bill that says you have no privacy. So, yeah.
which all made it much easier for the government to monitor phone calls and emails, collect banking and credit records, and keep a closer and closer eye on what Americans do online. Through what are called national security letters, for example, the FBI could obtain all sorts of personal information about Americans without the approval of a judge. They could hold on to it indefinitely and prevent those who have been tapped from even talking about it, assuming they ever found out. Second, Google. All those FTC regulations went out the window too. Internet companies had started getting reasonably worried that the World Wild West and their cattle baron status within it wasn't going to survive the anti-surveillance FTC and the American public's reasonable fear of mass invasions of privacy. After 9/11, though, every regulatory project that could have threatened them was immediately canned.
With Asana, AI teammates can pull real-time data.
QTEL. After 2001, gone were the days of the temporary little CIA experiment in Silicon Valley. With 9/11, In-Q-Tel became a permanent fixture in California and suddenly got a lot of interest from Valley startups looking to trade the surveillance tech they had developed and the data, which they were suddenly completely justified in collecting, legally speaking, for government cash. And in the next decade, no one took greater advantage of that than Google. In late summer 2003, Google scored a $2 million gig to set up Google search technology at the NSA and separately customized software for the CIA. Then the next year, Google deepened the connection by acquiring another CIA/In-Q-Tel funded venture called Keyhole, a satellite mapping company that would become Google Earth. In 2007, Google's Peter Norvig gave a presentation at the Pentagon's Highlands Forum, an incubator for SV companies that the intelligence community tapped for surveillance ideas. And in 2009, Google took things even further, joining forces with the CIA's In-Q-Tel again to fund a startup called Recorded Future that monitored, quote, every aspect of the web in real time in order to predict future events. All the while, top people are, of course, rotating back and forth between these intelligence agencies and Google. Point is, after 9/11, Google and the intelligence community kickstarted a process of codependent growth. If things looked a little dicey for them in the 90s, a combination of close personal relationships and, quote, direct sponsorship and informal networks of financial influence pushed Google further and further down the path of surveillance technology at precisely the same time as the legal infrastructure meant to protect privacy was dismantled. This was a perfect symbiotic relationship. Intelligence agencies needed surveillance capitalist companies, and they needed the intelligence community's financial and institutional.
Google basically wanted to get their hands dirty. So Google just took what In-Q-Tel wanted to do and just did it themselves, which is fucked up. And that's the reason why I need to start using DuckDuckGo. I'm supposed to start using it, but after watching this, I really didn't know that Google was deep in the hands of the CIA and the NSA. Like, I searched a lot of shit up on Google, and yeah, it's unfortunately collected by the NSA. Like, oh boy. Nothing legal, guys. It's just stuff that, you know, I was younger then too. Like, I mean, let me continue.
Institutional support. For companies, getting cozy with intelligence agencies protects their ability to burrow ever more deeply into our private data. So long as cops can get warrantless access to ring footage, for example, Amazon can feel pretty confident in its ability to develop what has essentially become the largest corporate aggregated network of CCTV cameras on Earth. And if this wasn't clear enough, they've even gone so far as to lay out a 4-part plan specifically for police departments to follow so they can increase the number of people in a neighborhood who will get a ring camera. Then on the other side of the relationship, intelligence agencies and
So really, if you have a Ring doorbell camera, Amazon will allow the pigs to get it without obtaining a warrant. See all these tech companies, man. Amazon, Google, Apple, Apple in this too. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. Play a few more minutes of it. Like, You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, they see what they see everything that we're doing. Everything. And you know, everybody in their moment should watch this video, man. You should be fucking pissed. Like, right wingers, where you at? Like, your government, your party signed on to this back in 2001, 45 days after 9/11. Like, y'all should be angry too. And then what they did too, like, this is the slickest shit. They named it a Patriot Act. Yeah. Patriot is so patriotized, you know, why they spying on you looking on Pornhub. But man, oh,
and police forces are deeply dependent on these companies. No intelligence agency can compete with the amount of information a private company can collect and store. The NSA can't convince anyone to willingly put a GPS tracker in their pocket at all times the way Google can. There's another benefit for intelligence agencies and police departments, though. Despite the Patriot Act and the avalanche of anti-privacy laws that sailed through Congress after 9/11, the Constitution still makes it at least a little difficult for government agencies to spy on Americans. Not impossible, but either too slow or not quite unlimited enough for the likes of the NSA. Thankfully for the intelligence community, there's a loophole. To quote legal scholar Jack Balkin, because the Constitution does not reach private parties, government has increasing incentives to rely on private enterprise to collect and generate information for it. In other words, by contracting out both the labor of developing surveillance technology and carrying out the actual work of data collection, then simply partnering with tech companies to parse that information, surveillance can be as comprehensive and immediate as the NSA wants without having to contend with what few legal protections limit government spying on citizens. And this all perfectly coincided with some internal developments at Google that would supercharge this data collection even further. Take a look at this patent. In 2005, Google filed a patent for what it called generating user information for use in targeted advertising. There's a lot of diagrams in there that frankly don't make it any easier to understand what they're actually patenting, but that's not what really matters. What you need to know is the story behind this patent. That for years and years, Google was struggling. They had raised tons of money from investors and established a pretty dominant place in the search engine market. Now they just needed to figure out how to actually generate revenue doing that. Google knew they couldn't really charge people a fee without killing the business. Nor could they start selling search results that they had aggregated for free and without prior consent from website owners. So up to that point, Google was making do running just a few ads related to what you searched and providing web services for bigger names like Yahoo. Nothing terribly lucrative. And when the dot-com crash hit in 2000, investors realized this wasn't going to make enough money to justify taking a risk on the brand new commercial internet. They needed something else. It all clicked in April of 2001. Just 5 months before 9/11, Amit Patel, one of the first people to work at Google, found out that every time someone ran a search through the engine, Google happened to collect information on that search like, quote, the number and pattern of search terms, how a query is phrased, spelling, punctuation, dwell times, click patterns, and location. Data that, up to that point, Google didn't really have any use for and was just sitting in some server somewhere. What Patel and Google's founder Larry Page realized in April, though, is that all this information could not only be used to improve Google's public-facing service, the search engine, but could be of huge interest to the much more profitable advertising backend.
that's it right there. That right there. So basically, Google realized that, hey, let's not charge people a fee, a monthly subscription. Better yet, let's just collect their data. I said data. Sorry, y'all. I talk funny. Excuse me. Let's collect their data and sell their data to the advertisers, so that way the advertisers can recommend their products to the people, to you, the consumer. Wow, man. Capitalism at its finest right there. And then they collect your data, then a data breach happens, which everybody has been impacted by a data breach. No matter who you are, you know, even your grandma on Facebook. Facebook had a hell of data breaches too. You know, so yeah, I'm in it right there. I'm not gonna. I used to play the whole clips, but I realized like that's unfair, man. Like they put too much time and effort into these videos, and you know, I got to the not the meat and potatoes deeply, but I got enough. You know, you can have it. So if you want to watch the rest of it yourself, go to Second Thought. The title of it is "Americans Are Being Watched and It's Getting Worse." Okay, guys. I have one more story for y'all, actually. Okay, guys. I want to talk about Bluesky. Some of you guys may not know. You see it right there. It says, "What is Bluesky? The fastest growing social media platform welcomes fleeing X/Twitter users." Well, this is different. I'm thinking about leaving Twitter. The reason why is because I'm getting suppressed. It's not all about the likes and retweets. I think when I say getting suppressed, that means I used to get a lot of likes and retweets. No, it's not that. A great example is Twitter. When I go live, I used to get like 70, 80 viewers, and now I get 5 or 6. Like it's abysmal. And obviously, I know Twitter is shadow banning me. It's also shadow banning my friend Willow too. I mean, my cousin Willow. I keep saying friend. I should know better than that. It says, okay, it says, disgruntled X users are flocking to Bluesky, a newer social media platform that grew out of the former Twitter before billionaire Elon Musk took it over in 2022. While it remains small compared to established online spaces such as Excrement, it has emerged as an alternative for those looking for a different mood, lighter and friendlier and less influenced by Musk. What is Bluesky? Championed by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey. Bluesky was an invitation-only space until it opened to the public in February. That invite-only period gave time site to build out moderation tools and other features. The platform resembles Musk's X with a discover feed and a chronological feed for accounts that users follow. Users can send direct messages and pin posts, as well as find starter packs, which starter packs is an interesting thing, but I'll get to that in a minute. That provide curated lists of people and custom feeds to follow. Starter packs is cool, man. Like if you interested in art or you like sports, they'll put it puts you in a pack, and you know you can follow all of those people that are in that starter pack, and they will follow you back. Like I grew up, I fast, like I had like 34 followers on Bluesky. Now I'm at as of this video 133. So they grow pretty fast, and I already got friends that are over 1,000, which is just crazy. But you know, why is Bluesky growing? Bluesky said in mid-November that its total users surged to 15 million, up from roughly 13 million at the end of October, as some X users look for excuse me, guys, alternative platform to post their thoughts and talk to others online. The post-election uptick in users isn't the first time Bluesky has benefited from people leaving excrement Twitter. The platform gained 2.6 million users in a week after X was banned in Brazil in August. 85% of them from Brazil, the company said. Wow. About 500,000 new users signed up in one day in October, when X signaled that block accounts would be able to see a public user's post, which is dumb as fuck. Like, see, Elon, see right here, when he said Twitter signaled that block accounts would be able to see a user's public post. What? If I block somebody, they shouldn't see my shit, and I shouldn't see their shit. Across the platform, new users, among them journalists, left-leaning politicians, left-leaning, I like they say left-leaning, and celebrities have posted memes and shared that they were looking forward to using a space free from advertisements and hate speech. Yeah, some said it reminded them of early days of Twitter more than a decade ago. It does. Like Twitter, like you I don't think you could post videos on the early Twitter. Like I got on Twitter in 2012, but you could, post photos. You know, it is Twitter. It is basically Twitter. Like despite blue sky growth, X posted at election that it had dominated the global conversation on the U.S. election and has set new records. Beyond social networking, Blue Sky though has bigger ambitions than a supplant X. Beyond the platform itself, it is building a technical foundation, what it calls a protocol for public conversation that can make social networks work across different platforms, also known as the interoperability, like email, blogs, and phone numbers. Currently, you can't cross between social platforms to leave a comment on someone's account. Twitter users must stay on Twitter, and TikTok users must stay on TikTok. They want to interact with accounts on those services. Big tech companies have largely built moats around their online properties, which help serve their advertising-focused business models. Blue Sky is trying to reimagine all of this and working towards interoperability. Okay, so yeah, I think Blue Sky is cool. I think it's cool. But I found something. I think I screenshotted it. I'm finna pull it up in a second. Give me a second, guys. Well, shit. I thought I was in one of the DMs on Twitter, and somebody sent to the group chat that Blue Sky is removing Gaza accounts. Now, you say to yourself, why? Like, these people are from Gaza, or they pro Gaza, or they pro Palestinian, or they Palestinian or pro Palestinian, same thing. Yes, shit. I like having proof with me, but yes, apparently Blue Sky is removing those accounts, and they're not giving a reason why. The only reason they saying is that spam, which I mean, how is that spam? What, a couple of pro Palestinian accounts asking for mutual aid, like for a Palestinian, like a excuse me, I'm sleepy, like GoFundMe, or how is that spam? Like I just don't understand, and that's what that point gets to me. Like, look, I like Blue Sky. I praise Blue Sky, even though it is owned by a billionaire, Jack Dorsey. He's a billionaire. He's rich, and it could be that maybe they really concerned about spam. I don't know. I really don't think they care. Like, Blue Sky is still small. Like, yeah, a lot of people want to leave excrement, aka Twitter, and go to Blue Sky, but again, you're moving Gaza accounts. Like, they don't make you look good at all. Like, at least set an example. Like, what's next? You can't say from the river to the sea on Blue Sky. Like, yeah, no social media platforms are favorite. Social media platforms are there for you to have a voice. This is why, also, too, then I'm finna close out. All of these social media platforms should be public fucking utilities. Like, I swear to God, like, this is ridiculous. Like, spam. So, really, basically, they could say I'm spam, even though I got my first name, a picture of me, and stuff like that. So I'm actually human. Spam is like you want to send news here or some kind of weird lettering. That's spam. I'm pretty sure those accounts are real people, but okay. Oh, Blue Sky, you're not making yourself look good right there, bud. Like, I'm still going to use you, but if you do something stupid, yeah. But is Blue Sky better than excrement? Yes. But as of right now, like, eventually, once, like, every platform, they start off good, you can not say whatever you want. Obviously, you can't threaten or harm anybody. Like, you shouldn't do that anyway. But, like, you could say whatever you want and not get nicked randomly like you do on excrement. But once Bluesky gets big, and yes, they don't have no ads on their platform, but when they get big enough, they're gonna have ads like Jack Dorsey's a billionaire. Like, he want more money, he want more profit. Duh. Yes. See, you probably can say a little bit what you want right now, but once some advertisers come, and then they could, like YouTube. Same with YouTube. Like, you literally do and say whatever you want on YouTube until the ads come in, and you can't cuss, or you can't say this, you can't say the election was stolen, or you can't say it. Just like it's a lot. But yeah, man, treat these social media platforms like utilities. And yes, I'm on Bluesky too. I need to put my Bluesky tag. It's so weird. I think it's shit. I forget. Hell, I forgot. No, it's Conrad Dre .bluesky.social. I think it's Conrad Dre. I kept my alternate name on there. Lakeshore Boy 24. The only reason why I didn't change that username on Twitter, I used to be a Laker fan, because I like that day, Lakeshore Boy. Then 24 for Kobe. So, all right, guys, that's the show. It's a weird show, I know. I posted to talk about Sonny Holston. Her and Whoopi Goldberg got into it, but I can't find that video for some reason. Like, YouTube be on that bullshit. I'm gonna try to see if Case Study QB got it, and I'm gonna play that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and again, like the video. I always need to start saying this shit in the beginning of the fucking video. Like the video, and also to donate to my best friend. Like, this woman is amazing. She's a wonderful person. Tired Peasant, also the CEO of the ATP Network. And her cash app is $Liz4285. And also too, by the way, guys, because she's the CEO of a little baby network that badly has over 1,000 subs on YouTube and 30 on fucking Rock Rumble, and 10 on Twitch. Like, we're not grifters. So I don't know who the fuck starts saying that shit. I hope not none of our, allies said that. Hopefully it's just some fucking unserious person with 3 followers said that shit. Like, we're not grifters. Like, we don't make no money off this. I don't do this for the money. The only reason why I got her cash app on there too, because she's a working class parent. So, she works, but money takes all the bills, and she gotta eat, and her kids gotta eat. So if you got a few dollars, slide them in there. And also to my podcast, man. Look, I know I've been on and off with that podcast. I just been doing so much. I've been mainly focused on this network, uploading clips, and then I got another podcast with Willow. And also too, guys, check out Under the Willow Tree. If you haven't watched it, it's pretty good. It was just a chill episode. We did talk about it's very important. If you want to see what we thought about that, you got to click on the video. It's a live stream. I'm just gonna make a clip about that first part, not the second part. So check those out. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching me, man. I know I could be a pain in the ass on Twitter. I could say random shit. It's just my moves. And shout out to Smurf, man. Man, like, we really need to have, like, just do a episode of one-on-one with Smurf about race. I think we hit and touched on it, but we need to, like, really talk about it. Hopefully, man, one day, if society improves, I don't know, like, feel like we going to hell in a handbasket at this point. But if it does, maybe, race won't be a thing. Like, I just say that. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching the Good Faith Show. I'm Andre Morton, signing out. Have a good one.